Do you have plans in place? Most people have an idea of where they want their wealth to go. And if they weren't able to make decisions for themselves, if they're ill, who they would want to make those decisions. But unless we memorialize those things in writing, it doesn't necessarily happen that way. Most older people I know who have grandchildren would like to provide for those grandchildren something. Usually it's for education, but it can be for other things as well. In Colorado, if you're married or unmarried, if you have a partner, if you have a spouse, if you're just living with someone, these are really important things to think through legally. And marriage is fairly obvious, but what may not be obvious is the fact that in Colorado we are a common law marriage state. And with a common law marriage state, you can be deemed married whether you intend to be or not. And your common law spouse will have a claim to a portion of your estate. And depending on the length of the common law marriage, the vast majority of your assets. So you will be really careful in Colorado if you're going to choose to live with somebody. And if it's a second marriage, all of those things need to be considered when thinking about doing a plan. And of course, that includes children from a prior marriage for both you and your partner. And then, of course, another important point to consider is long-term care needs. Sometimes we do planning in anticipation of Medicaid. Unfortunately, in our healthcare system in this country, it does not provide for long-term nursing home care. So it's very expensive. I'm sure I'm not telling any of you anything you don't know, but it's something that I contend with because I would be remiss as your attorney not to have a talk about anticipating this need if there's long-term care insurance in place. If not, what to do then, and to really at least have the conversation about how that might be paid for and planning accordingly. I put your pets here because we here at Rocky Mountain Elder Law are big fans of animals and including them in your estate plan. One would be surprised. Often this is overlooked. I think it's really important to designate someone and talk to someone about taking your pets in case something happens to you and making a financial provision for their medical care and care. Surprisingly to some, parrots are really important. They can live over 100 years. It's really important to create some kind of trust vehicle to manage the care of that animal. I've done pet trusts for llamas. So I've done them for all kinds of animals, but it can give one a sense of peace about how things will go should something happen. And obviously your financial assets. One of the things that I like to do is take a complete inventory of how your property, bank accounts, everything from your basic checking all the way to investment accounts, how they're titled, who the beneficiaries are, if that's who you want the beneficiaries to be. Is there a backup beneficiary? Do we want your estate to be the beneficiary? Would that be advantageous to you? Do we want a trust to be a beneficiary? We want to have a discussion about all of those issues to make sure that you have a clear understanding of where your assets will go, whether they will pass inside or outside of probate. And we want to have all those boxes checked to make sure that whomever is designated is who you want those funds to go to. And of course, all of this is about your legacy. I often talk with clients about what their why is, where they want that, not just their financial bounty to go to, but who they want to have the conversation with about making decisions for them in case they can in the future. The choice of your agents under your powers of attorney for both financial and medical, the choice of your executor or personal representative under your will, choice of your trustee. This is all part of your legacy. It is not just your money that's your legacy. It's also who will make decisions regarding your care and your finances for you. To me, that is all part of your legacy.